This is a Mercury spills kit. We have 3 of these across the museum service. One is kept here at MCC, there's one at Lauriston Castle, and there is also one at the Museum of Edinburgh. So good proximity for the collections that are most likely to contain Mercury. The boxes are all identical, and if you open them, they will have the same contents. So you've got a number of different things. Got a danger Mercury spill keep away notice, which is important to put, especially if you've got a spill on the floor somewhere that people might be likely to be walking. You've got a safety card which tells you exactly how to use the Mercury spill kit. So it even tells you which side to start with. So before you start, it's telling you to wear your protective gloves, which you've got in the box. We also have plenty around the different museum venues, and also an apron, also contained in the box here. Then also it tells us to ensure that there is extra ventilation, and if it isn't possible to open windows, then we might need to get in touch with the safety advisor. Now that could be me, or it could be somebody else within the council, environmental health and so on. Then you can turn over to the next side, and then step by step you can follow the different steps. So step 1 is to empty the contents of one of the disposal units, i.e. this jar with a lid, disposal unit. So take everything out of that, and then you can place all of the things ready to use. Here are the contents of the disposal unit. So you wouldn't use these until you'd put on your PPE. So you've got your apron and you've got your gloves, so they're on. Then, using the 2 pieces of card, and it's just a regular thick card, you use those 2 pieces to scoop up all of the mercury in to one small area. And there's an illustration here of how you might do that. Mercury usually forms these sort of small blobs and balls. And then once those are used, again handling them, wearing PPE, those go into the disposal unit because they've been contaminated with the mercury. Next, you would take the syringe out of its wrapper and use that to suck up any smaller particles of mercury that you haven't been able to scoop up with your card. And again, that, once it's used, goes into the disposal unit. And then you would put the lid on firmly. Then what you need to do, if you've got other smaller particles of mercury, is to take your absorbing powder and you will pour that over the area of the spill, especially if there's any cracks between tiles or cracks or gaps in wooden floor. You've got stone floors at Lauriston, for example, where there are different layers or strata of stone, so you know you're quite likely to get little bits kind of caught in strange cracks and so on. Then with the water spray bottle, which is just inside the box on its own, you will fill that with water, just tap water, it's fine, and you use that to dampen the water, powder with the water spray, so you can see here. And then you will leave that for 8 hours or overnight, so that it allows the absorbing powder time to clump. Next, you will take, wearing the nitrile gloves, you will take the small sponges and use those to wipe up the powder, which has now become a sort of white paste. And again, discard all of that into the disposal unit. So all items except for the water spray bottle and the tape, which you can use to seal the disposal unit, and the sign, all of those things must be discarded in the mercury spill disposal unit, along with the actual waste mercury that you've collected. And finally, you screw down the lid of the disposal unit, which I would do if I had 2 hands, and you would use this mercury hazard tape to tape it up as tightly as possible, sealing it here, and then also taking tape around both sides as though you were wrapping it as a gift, and illustrated here. And then the mercury waste product and other contaminated materials can go into a secure locked cabinet, such as this one here, solvents cabinet, and then it has to be disposed of through a licensed disposal company. And again, I can organise that, or Liz can organise that. And there are 2 of the disposal units in the kit, as well as the bottle for water, the tape, the sign, and the instruction sheet. And that is what is inside a Mercury spill kit. Thank you.